Hi, everyone, and welcome to our newest community conversation podcast. Today, I have a very special guest here with us. He is a founder of Debt Simple Saving. It's Steve Cronin. Hello, Steve. Welcome.
Hello. Very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here with us. What I want to know is that basically for a lot of people, finance and investment can be a broad topic, and there are huge aspects to that topic. So not a lot of people know about that. So basically the question that a lot of our listeners would like to know, I think, is what are some of the most common personal finance mistakes Dubai expats tend to make?
Yeah, so firstly, I would say being in Dubai is an amazing opportunity for your finances because we have a tax-free life. You know, whether you are a local or an expat, it is a fantastic opportunity. But I see way too many people losing their job and then leaving Dubai having hardly saved anything because they got sucked into this lifestyle, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, spending more money than they needed to, not saving, or getting trapped into some kind of scam and losing all their money. And that's a real pity. So the first thing I would say is make the most of this opportunity. It is an amazing opportunity. And you will realize this maybe after you leave Dubai and you go back to a high tax country and you're just like, what was I doing? There is no income tax in this country. There's no capital gains tax for your investments. It is a brilliant opportunity. So make the most of it. That's the first thing. Have intention for your life, have intention for your money, know exactly what you're doing with your life and what you want to do with your money. And that will really change things. Other mistakes I see, lots of people getting trapped into long-term savings plans, whole life insurance, things like that by commission-driven financial advisors. There's a whole industry out there that is trying to part you from your money. Some of the banks are doing it as well. And it's not just in this country, anywhere where you find expats, to be honest. You have to be careful about this. And I would say if anything looks complicated, if there's any product where you can't get out immediately without paying, you know, big surrender penalty or something, I would really avoid that. And the whole point of my business is to show people that you can plan and save and invest by yourself, right? You can do it by yourself. It's actually very simple, but there's a whole industry out there that doesn't want you to realize this, that wants you to think it's complicated, wants you to think you're not good at maths. This stuff, it takes 5 minutes a month. It is not complicated. You can absolutely do it by yourself. So I don't want to manage your money. I want you to manage your money. I just want to show you how to do it. I want to teach you how to fish, if you know what I mean. And then you can have that skill for the rest of your life, and it will change your life and improve it a lot.
Yeah, no, that's honestly incredible because, like you said, people think it's complicated and there are many layers to it. But when you actually sit with the right person and when they explain the entire process, it doesn't have to be necessarily that complicated and difficult. So that's why I think it's really important for our viewers to know. And another thing is basically for me to ask you, do you think that cryptocurrency is here to stay, or is it just a short-term method of making quick money?
It can be a short-term method of making quick money. It can also be a short-term method of losing lots of money as well, right? So you do have to be careful. I think crypto in some form is here to stay. Does that mean you should pile into Bitcoin and Dogecoin at any cost? No, I think you need to be careful because crypto is untried, untested. It's not like the stock market where we have, you know, at least 150 years worth of solid stock market data. We don't know with crypto how stable some of these coins are. We don't know whether there are just going to be enormous crashes as the government cracks down on it. We don't know whether instead they will take over the world's currencies. I think there is nothing wrong with testing the waters with crypto, but I put it in the fun money category. So as expats, very few of us have pensions. Okay. Which means we need to invest our spare cash. Don't have it going moldy in the bank. You've got to invest it in assets like property, stocks and bonds, things like that are going to generate an income for us in our retirement. Otherwise, you could end up with literally nothing in your retirement, right? So you need that portfolio to be pretty solid. And I'm afraid crypto isn't solid. It can go way up, it can go way down. So the fun money concept is designed to protect your portfolio, your retirement portfolio, from crazy stuff. Right? But if you have that itch and you need to scratch it with crypto or with stock trading or whatever, then go for it. Just make sure it's no more than 10% of your retirement portfolio, so that you've got a kind of limit on the gambling, if you will. One interesting thing I have invested a small amount of my money in crypto just to understand what it's like. And my observations were, you can get really sucked into this and spend all your days learning about crypto. And I think that will distract you from the basic process of understanding how to save more money out of your salary every month, how to invest it boringly in index exchange traded funds and things like that, really boring stuff. Crypto is going to be a distraction. So make sure you realize it's a distraction and limit the amount of time that you spend on it, as well as the amount of money. But one thing I did find crypto could be useful for, and obviously we're talking about buying and holding here, right? You just buy some of the top coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever, and you just hold it. And you hold it for 10, 20, 30 years, right? I think trading is very addictive and very dangerous. Like Bitcoin moves like a few dollars a second, and you can watch it and you can ignore your family and get addicted to it. You have to be careful about that. So say, right, I'm going to learn about crypto one day only. I'm going to put some money in and I'm going to leave it there and never touch it again. I think one way it is useful is because a stock market crashes typically every 8 to 15 years. Crypto crashes like once a week. So it teaches you how to stay calm during a crash, so that one day when we have a 2008 scenario where the stock market goes down 52%, you'll be like, this is nothing, it's totally fine. You know, I've trained myself on crypto, I've trained my emotions, everything is good. And then you'll just sail through that crash and not panic sell. So maybe that is how crypto is useful, but don't bet the farm, don't go crazy. 10% max of your investment portfolio, the rest in super boring stuff.
That's an amazing tip, honestly. Speaking of tips, we'll definitely have listeners who are tuning in wanting to know how to kickstart their investment journey. So do you have any tips for someone who is just getting started? What are the first things to do? What do you have to pay attention to? I've
been really thinking about this a lot. You know, I call my business Dead Simple Saving for a reason. I want it to be simple. I want it to be accessible for people. And so I thought a lot about the steps that you have to go through. And really, you know, the three big categories are plan, save, and invest in that order. Don't just skip to the investment side. So firstly, you need to understand your mindset. Like, how do you feel? And if you have another half, like, discuss this stuff. People are so bad about talking about money. Like, talk about what were your parents' attitudes to money? Earning, spending, saving, investing. What were their attitudes? What's your culture's attitude? Your boss, like, where have you picked up these weird money habits? Because money is very psychological, and so you can have some pretty strange beliefs about it. And just get clear, like, what's your intention for your life? What's your intention for your money? Once you have that side of things sorted out, then I think go and do some research about financial independence. It's a wonderful movement. Don't bother like Googling personal finance. Just look for financial independence. Go and join the Simply FI Facebook group. It's completely free on Facebook, and start to educate yourself and believe that you can be good with money. So many people are like, oh, I'm bad with money. Like, you've got to stop it, right? You've got to believe that you are good with money. Then you've got to understand where you are today. Like, what is your, like a company, what's your balance sheet? What's your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities? What's your monthly savings rate, right? What are you spending? What's left over after after your paycheck? And then understand where you want to get to. Like, how much do you need? Like, how much do you want to live on in retirement? Go and ask your grandparents, like, how much do you spend in retirement? Because then you know, well, how much do I need to earn? You know, if you want to live on $5,000 a month in retirement, or 10,000 or 2,000, at least you have a direction. And when you have a target, then you're more likely to get there. And then I think you need to decide, do you want that money to come from property? Do you want it to come from stocks and bonds? Where do you want it to come from? Start thinking about that now. Of course, it can all change over time, but at least you're starting to think about it. Once you're there, you have to start putting your cash to work. You need cash buffer, 6 months expenses, 6 months total expenses. This will save you if you lose your job. You need to get out of expensive debt, anything over 5%, pay it off as fast as you possibly can. Yeah. So many horror stories about debt, credit cards, always pay off your credit card in time. And then anything big coming up in the next 5 years, like a property deposit, a wedding, things like that, start saving towards that. But once you have all that cash, that's the only cash you need. Don't be one of these people who just sits on a massive pile of cash doing nothing, right? Yeah. Like once you've got those, then you can start investing in the stock market or buying a property. It's really easy to invest in the stock market. You just need to open an international brokerage account with, say, Interactive Brokers. It's basically free. Or if you can't handle doing it yourself, go with Sawa or someone like that. And then you can buy Vanguard, iShares, global stock fund. They're called exchange traded funds, ETFs, a global stock fund and a global bond fund. You only need 2 funds. You do the same thing every single month for the rest of your working life, and then you will have more money than you ever thought possible, and you can be financially independent much earlier than you ever thought possible. So that's a very condensed summary of the steps you can take. But I want people to believe this is absolutely possible. You do not need to be persuaded by a bank or a financial advisor into some savings plan. You can absolutely do a lot of this by yourself.
No, that's absolutely amazing. I have to thank you. Even I do not know much about these things, but now when you explained it, I finally got it. So
amazing.
That's honestly amazing. And if you guys want to know more, please check out the website Debt Simple Saving. I think it's going to help a lot, and they can contact you if they have any questions. So that's all about the time we have today. Thank you so much for being here with us.
If you want to be part of community conversations, make sure you email info@seeyouaround.app. For all things community, events and lifestyle, download the See You Around community app now.